Guess what happened to me last week? Somebody came to see me and told me that I was wrong. They did it gently, deferentially, but they said to me that I needed to see somebody else who was going to give me a perspective that I needed to hear and needed to hear badly. How dare they? I hear you gasp. Well, joking aside, actually, it wasn't an easy situation because I, as a bishop, am invested in the way things are at the moment. They, or the person who needed to see me, possibly would find it difficult to get my ear, and the person who was introducing me to that person needed to have the courage to have that conversation with me. And all of that gives me a bit of an insight into this wonderful passage that we've got today from the book of Acts. So the disciples are there, the apostles, they feel responsibility for the care of the church. Up pops this guy, Paul, who has been a persecutor, even a murderer. And then suddenly he turns round and he offers a new perspective, but they're not sure whether they can trust him. And then into that context comes this wonderful figure of Barnabas, whose name means, he's actually a nickname, Barnabas. It means son of encouragement. And he goes to the apostles and he says, look, you need to hear this guy. Let's have a conversation. And of course, we know the end of the story. Saul, plants a string of churches and writes a big chunk of the Bible. And what a great thing that is. Now, we can hear and listen to that text in a number of ways. We could hear it personally. So maybe somebody needs to go to a doctor, but they're a bit scared of what might happen, so they're putting it off. And then somebody notices that, maybe a good close friend, and comes alongside them and says, look, shall I just go with you? Or maybe we can hear that story as a diocese, that actually we know that a lot of stuff has changed even in the 10 years since this diocese started, and we are going to need to change if we're going to grow and thrive in our churches. Now, in order for that to happen, bishops, PCCs, clergy, all sorts of other readers, lay leaders, need to be willing to hear stuff which may be uncomfortable to hear. Other people, entrepreneurs, need to be willing to give that challenge and try out new ideas. And also, we need Barnabases. We need people who are going to come alongside and make those conversations possible and help us, because actually what we're looking for is where that passage today finishes up by saying that the church needs to be built up, grow in numbers, and live in the fear of the Lord and the comfort of the Holy Spirit.